away. This week we have Jessica and Brittany from Medpro Healthcare Staffing. They're going to answer all of your travel nursing questions. So be sure to ask them because we will be giving away three $10 Starbucks gift cards to three nurses who ask questions. I heard that they're doing a giveaway too. So we will randomly draw the names at the end and then message the winner at the end of the event. So I would like to introduce you to Jessica and Brittany from Med. Let's give them a minute to connect. Hi, ladies.
Hi. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Excellent.
Good.
So happy to have some women this time. Well, it's going to be fun. So I'll let you guys answer all the questions and have fun.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica. I'm a recruiter here at Medpro Healthcare Staffing. I've been here for about 2 years. Just a little bit about me. I am originally from Ashburn, Virginia. I did attend the University of Central Florida. Go Knights. I was actually a political science major, which is completely different from what I'm doing here in nursing. But my mom is a labor and delivery nurse, and I've always been so passionate about nursing and watching her do what she does and growing up around the hospital and all her friends being nurses and just being able to see them give back to like the community and do such a big part in what they do. I just always felt so rewarding being in that. I found Medpro kind of on accident, and immediately I just fell in love with the company and the culture here. And I knew it was just going to be a perfect fit for me. Every day I love coming here. I love coming to work, talking on the phone, talking to nurses, and just being surrounded by people who are making a difference in the world. Just some quick facts about me. I actually did grow up in Haiti. So I lived there for 7 years. And I am fluent in 3 languages and actually conversational in another 2, which is really awesome.
And hi, Gypsies. My name is Brittany Stewart. I am a recruiter here at Medpro. I've been in the industry for about 2 years. Originally, I am from North Carolina. I went to Western Carolina University, go Catamounts. I did move to Florida about 2 years ago because I followed a boy and I got engaged and I moved down here. And I love coming to work every day at Medpro. It's literally just like you're hanging out with your friends, and it's a great culture here.
Nice. Awesome, Brittany. Congrats on your engagement. That's so cool. So just a little bit about us here at Medpro. We were founded in 1983. We are located in sunny South Florida, Sunrise to be exact. Just a little bit about us. We're considered a mid-sized agency, which is kind of the perfect size. And here's why. We're run by nurses for nurses, which is amazing. Our CEO and our VP were actually nurses. They still are actually. And our leaders kind of push us every day for quality over quantity. So what that means is we really just make sure that our explorers, which is what we call our travelers, are just like happy in the field, which is awesome. So now we're just going to tell you a little bit about our CEO and our VP of International Recruitment.
So Liz Tonkin, our CEO, she has a bachelor's in nursing from the University of Rhode Island. She was a member of the Board of Trustees for Broward College. She was an RN for 30 years, and then she worked her way up to be a CNO at some local hospitals, and now she is the CEO of Medpro.
And this is Patty Jeffries. She's been in the healthcare industry for about 30 years. She is our VP of International Recruitment. She is an industry leader in international recruitment, actually. And she was a founding and active member of the American Association of International Healthcare Recruitment. So this is Patty.
And like Jessica said before, we are a smaller staffing company. We're mid-size. We do focus on quality over quantity. We are growing though. As of 2019, SIA has named us one of the largest staffing groups of 2019. And then for the last 3 years running, we have been in the top workforce of South Florida. So those are some of our accomplishments as well.
And our nursing recruiters are so happy here. And we also have a fabulous allied team. Our allied department staffs med techs, pharmacy techs, surgical techs, sterile techs, you name it, we probably staff it, which is awesome. We have contracts across the continental United States, as well as Hawaii and Alaska. And Medpro does actually have a list of competitive benefits that Britt here is going to tell us a little bit more about.
So along with your recruiter, we have access to nationwide travel assignments. Like Jessica said, we do have contracts nationwide, every state. We do have weekly pay and direct deposit. You would be paid every Friday. It will go straight into your bank account. We have full coverage of all credentialing fees. So if you need to go and get a background check or any lab work, we will pay for it, and we will also set it up for you. We have private housing and housing allowances. We have group health insurance for you and your family. It's actually the same health insurance that Jessica and I have on ourselves and our families. We do travel reimbursement. We have access to our clinical liaison team. We have 2 RNs on staff. So if you're having a little trouble with the charting system or just on your unit in general, we would connect you with one of our liaisons and they could walk you through the process. We do have 401k matching and unlimited referral bonuses starting at $500. And then the best part about Medpro, and no other companies do this, is we have something called the Medpro Experience. So I'm going to bring in somebody very special to kind of explain the process for you. This is our very own Sue LaCour.
Hello, Gypsies. My name is Sue LaCour, as Brittany said, and I am the Medpro Experience Manager here at Medpro. I was actually part of the team that helped design, develop, create the Medpro Experience 3.5 years ago. And our goals at that time were to show appreciation, ensure the satisfaction of our traveling professionals, and really connect with the people that are out in the field and bridge that gap between us and them, us here in the office and those out in the field. And while our program has evolved over the years and we've made some updates and changes, our goals remain the same. So do any of you guys enjoy celebrations, like to be recognized for doing a great job, or enjoy receiving personalized gifts? Well, I clearly have the best job here at Medpro because every day I get to delight, surprise, and reward our traveling professionals. It's a great job. So you probably want to know what's in it for you. So we start by sending a welcome gift with a gift card and some cool Medpro swag. And I think we have an example of that here. Jessica will demonstrate, will show you. We have a really cool travel scratch-off map. So that allows you to track your journey, which states that you've visited throughout the country. We also have a $50 Uniform Advantage gift card that will help you with your scrubs or any medical equipment that you might need. You will receive a bio card with your recruiter's information and this cool Medpro backpack to throw all your gear in. We also celebrate birthdays and Nurses Week by offering 2 different gift options for our explorers that are on assignment. And we also love to reward our explorers that receive recognition from a patient or a supervisor at their job. By far, the most exciting thing that we do for our explorers is something that we call a magic moment. And of course, this is the best part of my job. The way that works is our explorers receive a link to complete what we call a unique profile. And it asks questions like their favorite restaurants, their hobbies, if they have any children or pets, just things that they like to do. Let us know more about them. I take a look at their profile when their magic moment is due, which is halfway through each 13-week assignment. And I choose personally all of the gifts, and I select gifts based on their profile and personalize and customize them for each individual explorer. So we do have a couple of examples. We have this explorer received tickets to SeaWorld, which is a local attraction here in Miami, similar to SeaWorld. Another explorer received tickets for a concert. This magic moment can be anything. The budget is the same for everybody, but the gifts can be unique to each one. This was a hot air balloon festival in Nevada, and this was actually a skin diving mask, a scuba diving mask for an explorer. We also have a couple of other things that are actually going out today for an explorer. This is a Dallas Cowboy watch because this explorer expressed an interest in their team. This is a custom-made sterling necklace with this explorer's children's names and their birthstones. And the last thing they're going to receive is this cool tote bag with a bunch of pockets and with their name and a graphic on it. So these are really fun gifts. This is obviously the very best part of my job, and I have a lot of fun doing it. We get a ton of thank you notes, so I think we're doing a pretty good job at it for the most part. The last thing I want to tell you guys about is something we call the 13 and 13 DIY Challenge. This is literally free money for our explorers, just for getting out and doing things that hopefully they're doing anyway. The way it works is you take a selfie and you show the place, something that represents the place that you're visiting, whether it's a restaurant. You can do a picture with the sign out front or the menu. You can take a picture at a zoo. You can take a picture while you're out shopping, hiking, anything like that. You email the picture in. For each one you submit, you'll get $13. And for each assignment, you could submit up to 13. So that's a total of $169 in free money for having fun. Each quarter, for all of the explorers that complete the challenge, you're automatically entered into a raffle for $500. So this is a great way for us to encourage our explorers to get out and visit the areas while they're on assignment. So our program is like no other in the industry, and MedPro is really like no other agency out there. I hope you join our MedPro family soon so that I can surprise and delight you. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, Sue.
Thank you, Sue. Okay,
So now we're just going to go into Q&A. So we have some questions that we already got from some explorers that we have, or some people that are going through the process right now. So we're going to kind of go through and answer those. Like we said, stay tuned. We are going to be giving out some fun stuff if you guys are able to answer some questions that we have during the Q&A. So,
all right. So Amy from Idaho asked, what are my location options?
great question, Amy. So as we previously pointed out, we do staff nationwide as well as in Alaska and Hawaii. So if you want to go from Florida to Montana or California to Virginia, you name it, we can make it happen. I have John from Nebraska. He wants to know if we will pay for his license to be renewed.
So that's a good question. If you do complete a 13-week assignment with us, we will reimburse for licensing. Yes, renewals. Yes.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So Beth from Los Angeles asked, can I end my rental lease and have you pay for housing while I travel?
So that's a little tricky. Typically, to qualify for the housing stipend and the meal stipend, you have to be duplicating your housing expense. So what that means is you have to maintain a tax home in your permanent residence. So if you live in Sunrise, Florida, you are going to need to maintain your home in Sunrise, Florida while you travel to New Orleans, Louisiana, in order to qualify for these tax-free stipends. So I have a question. Tim from Long Island wants to know if he will get overtime.
So yes, if it is discussed with the facility ahead of time, it would be in the contract. So you will know if you're going into a facility where it allows overtime or not.
Perfect. So ding, ding, ding. Time for our trivia question number 1. So for a $25 Amazon gift card, can anyone tell me what year MedPro was founded? Just go ahead and leave that in the comments and we'll get your information afterwards so that we can go ahead and send that out to you. But yeah.
So Jenny from Ohio has asked a very common question that we get often. She said, so what exactly is the Medpro Experience?
So that's a great question. Sue went through and kind of explained to you guys what the Medpro Experience does. But at the end of the day, the Medpro Experience is our customer service department. So what that means for us is we want to make sure that that you guys are taken care of and you guys don't just feel like you're a number in the field. So if you guys have any questions about the facility, we'll send you out surveys initially during your contract and after your contract to make sure you are happy with your recruiter, your credentialing specialist, your payroll guide, and even the facility itself. We want to make sure the facility is safe and you guys feel like you guys are just taken care of and not just a number in the field. So the Medpro Experience is really there to make sure that you guys are taken care of. Yep. So Zach from Long Beach is asking, how long are contracts?
So industry standard is typically 13 weeks. Every now and then you will get a one-off and it'll be an 8-week contract or a 12-week contract. But for the most part, it would be a standard 13-week contract.
Nice.
Okay. And Laura from Albany wants to know what type of shift she will receive if she does travel nursing.
That's a great question. So if you do a 13-week contract and you are contracted to work day shift, you can be expected that during contract you're going to work day shifts. There is one-offs where a manager might ask you to pick up a night shift. Again, 110% up to you because you are contracted to work days. But if that's on your contract, you can expect to work days. So Mary from Dallas is curious about how much money she can make as a travel nurse.
That is the first question that I get from most of the travelers I speak with. That's always their first question. So it is a little different. It depends on the specialty, the area, the cost of living, and the contracts that we have with the hospitals. So every specialty, depending on where they go in the country, it's going to be a little different. The pay packages are going to be built out differently. So there's not like a typical industry standard. There's a lot of different things that you have to put together to make a pay package. So
Nice. And time for trivia question number 2 for another $25 Amazon gift card. Does anyone remember our CEO's name? All right.
Okay. So Barbara from Texas is asking about pay. She said that the gifts from the Medpro Experience sound great, but does it mean that my pay package will be less?
Actually, no. So the Medpro Experience is 110% our gift to you. So you should never expect that something like that is going to come out of your money. It's our way of showing you guys that we're so appreciative of you guys working for us and going out and doing the job. So it's just our way to say thank you and to show you guys that we care about you. So Eric from San Diego wants to know if he can take time off during his assignment.
So yes, Eric, you can take time off. It's one of those things where if you know you have a vacation planned or like a destination wedding, anything like that, just tell your recruiter ahead of time before you submit to the facility. And then, of course, on an interview with the facility, you would want to bring up those dates again just to double down on them. But as long as your recruiter knows ahead of time, it can definitely happen. You can definitely have time off.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. And then Sue from North Carolina is also asking about pay, and she would like to know how and when will I get paid?
That's a great question because everybody loves money in their bank account. So basically how you get paid is Medpro pays every Friday. So you work your hours throughout the week and you submit your timesheet over to us, usually on a Monday morning. Sometime throughout the week, what that means is you'll get a notification. I'll say, hey, these are the hours you work. This is how much you'll get paid. This is what you can expect. And then on Friday, that money will direct deposit into your account.
Okay. And then Jessica from Delaware is asking about the magic moments. And she said, what are some of the moments that your nurses have received?
That is an amazing question. So we have some amazing magic moments that our nurses have and it's the most rewarding experience when you come into work the next morning or you get a text late at night and your nurse is just like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for this gift. I mean, one of the cool examples is I had a nurse who was from Baltimore. She actually ended up taking a contract in Montana. She fell in love with the landscape of Montana, started hiking, and just loved the whole experience. And so we sent her out some hiking gear, some hiking socks, a nice water bottle, and then I think like a little book so she can identify different things on the trail. So that was amazing. I had another nurse in Miami and she was getting into yoga. So we sent her out a yoga mat, one of those yoga blocks, and then just a gift card to go out and get some yoga gear, which was actually really cool. So that's just a little bit of some magic moments that my nurses have received. And honestly, I've never had a nurse not love their gift and just absolutely be 110% appreciative. So that's really cool.
Awesome. Okay, so ding, 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 time for a trivia question. Okay, for a $25 Amazon gift card, where is the location of the Medpro office? We did say it earlier. All right, so let us know.
All right. So Jason from Philly has a dog named Blue and is asking if he can travel with him.
Oh, Blue. Yes, you can travel with Blue as long as when you book your housing, make sure that it is pet friendly, whether it's at an Airbnb or an extended stay. Just make sure that they do allow animals so that you don't get out there and have a hiccup of any kind. But yeah, you can absolutely travel with Blue. Yeah. Okay. And then Tammy from Atlanta is curious about our insurance and benefits. She wants to know what does the insurance, like how does it work and when will I receive the coverage?
All right, great question. So MedPro's insurance is, it does kick in the first of the following month. For example, if you start a contract with us today, October 3rd, your insurance will kick in November 1st. And it's the same way for everyone. When we started here, if we started today, our insurance would also kick in November 1st. So that's awesome. So Carol from San Antonio wants to know what she needs to do to qualify for the MedPro Experience.
Oh, you're qualified as soon as you sign the contract. Every Explorer is qualified for the Medpro Experience just as soon as they sign the contract. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And for our fourth and final trivia question for a $25 Amazon gift card, what is a magic moment with MedPro?
Okay. And so our neighbor here, Justin in Miami, is asking, how far away do I have to live to be considered a true traveler?
That's a great question. So typically you have to be going at least 50 to 60 miles away from your tax home, as well as duplicating your housing expense. So if you're driving from Miami to Orlando, obviously you're greater than 50 miles away from your tax home. So that would put you in the qualify. But generally what we're looking at is a 50 to 60 mile radius. Megan from Charleston has another question about the MedPro Experience. She asked, is the MedPro Experience only valid on my first MedPro assignment?
No, it's you are valid. You are able to get the MedPro Experience with every new contract that you sign. Yeah, you're always going to get that. So, and then Erica from Indiana is asking if we can help her start in a specialty where she has no experience.
So unfortunately, Erica, we are not able to help you, start in a new specialty. The reason for that being you typically have to have, you have to be an RN for at least 2 years, and then you have to have at least 6 months to a year experience in that specialty before we can go ahead and place you in a travel contract with them. Generally, the reason for that is because you really, when you get into a travel assignment, you expected to hit the ground running. So you kind of have to get in and just kind of go in flow with the staff nurses. So we really have to make sure that you're up to par with them and have that experience. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for those pre-questions. Now we're going to go through and start taking some questions that we have over in the comment section. Thank you also for participating in our trivia. It looks like Mindy's asking, how much experience do you need as a nurse before taking a travel assignment?
So typically it's 2 years. Sometimes some hospitals or facilities will take a nurse that has a year and a half, but typically it's 2 years. They'd like for you to really build a foundation base.
Right. We'd really want to make sure you're staying in that 2 year of experience. That way you have a base, you've been in the hospital for that amount of time, you feel comfortable in your specialty, and then we kind of go from there. Norma Santana is asking, do we place LPNs? Yes, we do. We do have contracts for LPNs. It's just, yeah, we have contracts for LPNs. Just depends on if you're going to be doing like skilled nursing facility or if you've been doing home health. Just make that clear to us initially, and then we'll find an assignment for you. Emily says, if you have 4 nurses that work at the same facility, same start date, same everything, will they all have the same paycheck?
Well, that's a good question. It typically depends on how you have your taxes set up. So if 4 different nurses have the same pay package, they might not be bringing home the same amount depending on, the way that they have their taxes set up. So it is a good question, but that is something to take into consideration.
Also, if your state charges state tax, for example, like Florida versus Alabama, there's a different state tax there. So that's really, and how much you claim on your taxes, things like that. Ariel Redwood says, do you have a say in where we want to be placed? Do we have a say in where we want to be placed? Sorry. Of course, 110%. Yeah, you do. So if you're looking for an assignment in Northern Virginia, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to place you in Northern Virginia. Sometimes facilities have needs, sometimes they don't, but it's really just about, we're taking you where you want to go. It's your journey. We're just on the ride with you.
I like it.
Yes. All right.
Woohoo! 20 years a nurse here, compact.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, any more questions you want to go over?
Let's see if there's any more. Anything in Florida or North Carolina, South Carolina? Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on your specialty too. Let us know, what your specialty is. I believe you were asking about the LPNs. We do place LPNs in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. It just depends on where you want to be and if you have the compact license. Yeah. What else do we have on there?
Does anyone have any questions about the compact license or how that works? I mean, it's a really great feature. If you live in a state that offers the compact license, I 110% recommend getting that, just because it just opens so many doors for you. You don't have to apply to every state individually. You just apply to one state, and then you have the opportunity to travel to, I think it's up to like 29 different states now. So it's definitely a good idea to go ahead and get that. Ariel is asking, how do we get started on traveling? Well, Ariel,
First you call me.
really, just get on the phone with the recruiter, have that conversation with them. Make sure you're getting that relationship, you're building that relationship, you feel comfortable. It should be about trust and really openness. So give us a call, send us a message. Let's start talking and have a conversation, see where you want to go, see where you want to be, see if you're a good fit for traveling, and then go from there.
Yeah, and if you really want to, get started on traveling, there's this thing that we have. It's called a candidate profile that we put together for you. It's how we would market you to the different facilities. It includes an online application and a skills checklist, 2 references, and copies of any of your certifications. So we put that together and we basically put a bow on top of it, and that's how we market you to the other facilities. One thing about Medpro, though, getting started, is we do have assistant recruiters here. So I know Jessica has a couple of assistants. I have a couple of assistants, and they really, they reach out. If you don't want your current employer to know that you're looking into traveling, what we'll do is we'll call in and say that you're looking to do per diem work. And there's always a way to kind of get around those tricky reference calls. But that's how you get started in traveling, is just get the candidate profile together, get your relationship with your recruiter, and then just start talking about your options.
Yeah, give us a call and start talking to us, Michelle wants to know if we staff in the Caribbean. Michelle, unfortunately, we do not staff in the Caribbean as of right now. But we can vacation there.
I think the closest thing to the Caribbean that we have right now is we do have a couple contracts in Hawaii. I do know that. We have on all the islands.
And Key West too. So Key West is always an option. Denise wants to know if we staff registered nurses in long-term care.
Oh yeah, LTAC. Yes, we absolutely do. We have a very good relationship with a key client, and they are all over the country.
And so long-term care facilities are a little different for us when it comes to RNs. We have a lot of long-term care facilities for LPNs, but sometimes it can be a little trickier to staff long-term care nurses. We have the contracts. It's just about being open to where you want to go. Compact license is so awesome. Such that California doesn't participate. They definitely need to implement nationwide. So it's crazy. Every 6 months to a year, we see more and more states joining. I just know in July it was Louisiana and Kansas just joined, so that's awesome. And then recently in January it was Florida, Georgia. So every 6 months or so there are more and more states joining. So eventually, fingers crossed, it'll be that it's just across the United States. You could just travel to wherever, and it'll make staffing so much easier for everyone. How can I connect with one of you? So informative. Oh, thank you so much, Norma.
Yeah.
So you'll see links to our information like we've been tagged. So it's Jessica Ketant Medpro. That's my Facebook name. And then Brittany Stewart. You can just feel free to reach out to any of us, or you can reach out on the Medpro page as well. We can have any of our recruiters here reach out to you. So definitely give us a ring.
Yeah, just let us know. So what other questions we got, Gypsies?
You guys have any questions about like Medpro in general or about us in general? We're happy to answer whatever you have. As you can see, we do call ourselves that purple company. We love the color purple. It's kind of been our way of branding ourselves. And it's so crazy. Like we went to TravCon recently in the past 2 weeks, and nurses just absolutely love the purple pens. They were like, purple, I love the color purple. They're like, can I take some for my unit? Of course you can. So pretty much when we're sending out the Medpro Experience and stuff, you guys will get a lot of purple gear. It's really great.
I think at TravCon, didn't you give away a purple suit?
Yeah, we actually did give away a purple luggage set. Miss Brenda from, I think it was South Dakota, she won an awesome purple luggage set. It was so pretty. I wanted to take it home myself, but they were like, no, Jessica, give it away. So
you guys are cool. Flight attendants, right?
Yeah, we dressed up as flight attendants so you guys could take your journey with us. It was really cool. We had like an airplane overhang, so it looked like you guys were flying in a plane. We had some nurses come and take some pictures. If you guys ever get the opportunity to attend TravCon, I definitely recommend going to that. It is just the most informative way for you guys to get information as a travel nurse. So that was really, really rewarding.
Yeah. So do we have any questions about the process or how we can help you start traveling? Anybody?
Brittany, what's your favorite part about working at Medpro so far? I mean, I know you said like being around your friends, but really what's your favorite part about being here?
The catered lunch. Yeah, so we have a lot of meetings here, It's a meeting after a meeting after a meeting. And so we decided, or the company decided as a whole, hey, if we're going to make these people work through lunch, we're going to cater lunch for them. So every day there's a catered lunch for whatever meeting is going on. So if you're lucky, you can usually get some leftovers. What's your favorite thing?
My favorite part is how accessible everyone is. I know, like, if I'm talking to a nurse and my nurse is like, okay, I'm trying to get this test reset up so I could take this prophecy testing, I could just hop over to credentialing. It takes like 2 seconds to walk over to credentialing, have that conversation with them, and then boom, things are done like that. When I talk to payroll, things get resolved just like this. And it's just, everyone is just so approachable and friendly here, and everyone's just easy to talk to. And I just love that. It's just like it's an open door. It's really like working with 150 of your friends and being able to just chat with them casually.
And it's great because you can just pop into the VP's office. If you have a question, you can pop over, into Sue's office and ask her a question. Everybody is super helpful. I know that when I joined the team, I didn't know too much about nursing. And it's just like you go and you grab a senior recruiter, they stop what they're doing and they come and they help you. And it's just so wonderful.
Yeah.
Another thing I think that we should explain a little bit further is the clinical liaisons.
Yeah,
that we
definitely.
have. Yeah.
Definitely.
So Lillian and
so we have 2 clinical liaisons here on staff. What that means for you guys as nurses working for Medpro is you always have somebody who has been out on the field, who understands what it's like to be a floor nurse, who understands the day-to-day and can really just make sure that you guys feel safe. So if you're on the unit and you were given a certain patient and you felt XYZ happened and you wanted to speak with someone about it, it's not all the time that your recruiter is going to understand because we're not necessarily medical. So these clinical liaisons are there for you to have that chat with them, and then they can ease your concerns or talk you through them or help you through certain things. If you're struggling on a prophecy test or something, can't understand a certain like EKG, they can help you out with that. But Norma Santana asked us, where are we located? So Norma, that was one of our trivia questions. We are located in South Florida, Sunrise, Florida to be exact. So we are on the East Coast, but people are usually accessible all the time. We have recruiters who work different hours, so someone's always here for you, whether you're in California or whether you're in Florida or maybe even Texas. So that's awesome.
I will say another benefit to working with Medpro is that if your recruiter goes on vacation, we have someone here specifically to cover our desks. So if someone isn't here, there's someone running my desk. So you're always going to be in contact with someone here. So.
All right. So Angela Brown Storm asked, do you have to have hospital experience? I've been out of the hospital setting for several years, but have management experience in various other areas. So Angela, yeah, we are looking for people who do have that recent acute care experience, especially if you're going to be a tele nurse or an ICU nurse where you're going to be on the floor. We're really going to be looking for someone who's recently been on that floor, because when you're a travel nurse, there's not really much time for training. It's kind of like you do 1 or 2 days of orientation and boom, you're expected to hit the ground running. So we are kind of looking for people who have been in that acute care setting most recently and have been doing that work on the floor. JD Nelson said, what makes your staffing company different? There are so many out there wanting you to onboard with them. JD, you know what? You're 110% correct. There are 100 other companies like us. As we mentioned earlier, one of our biggest differentiators is the Medpro Experience. It is our way to show you that we appreciate you, but also we are a company that looks at quality over quantity. So as recruiters, we're not required to carry an enormous book of business in order to make what we make. Like, we're just happy to just do what we need to do for you guys. And it's really about taking care of you guys and making sure that you're happy and you're satisfied and you guys feel like you're being heard. Like, if you're talking about something, we want to make sure that those concerns are addressed.
I mean, we're run by nurses, you know, who knows the industry better than RNs themselves. So, and like I said, I mentioned the coverage. We're always going to have someone in contact with you. I know, you know, I feel like we definitely stand out because of the Medpro Experience and the fact that we are management heavy on RNs. Yes. So,
Derek wants to know, how do you treat your nurses? Derek, we treat our nurses like people, you know,
family.
Yeah, you guys are, at the end of the day, people, and everyone wants to be. I treat people the way I want to be treated. So it's never going to be a situation where you feel like you're not being treated right, because if you have a concern, you should be heard. Just like if I have a concern, I should be heard. So we want to make sure that you guys are happy in your assignment, and we treat our nurses like great people. That's what you guys are.
Yeah. And when you really get that relationship going with a specific nurse, I mean, like, it turns into family. I know there's one nurse in particular, I've talked to her 2-3 times a day, every day for the last week and a half, probably. But yeah, how do we treat our nurses? We treat our nurses very well. And I will say, if you have an issue, you would be able to voice that about your recruiter, because we do send out surveys. We are survey happy here. So of course, if something happened, you know, you could always just put in the survey how you felt, and then we could address that and try to fix it.
For sure. And at the end of the day, I mean, my mom's a nurse, so I would only want, if my mom decides to travel nurse, for her recruiter to treat her amazing. So every time I'm talking to a nurse, I picture that I'm talking to my mom or one of my mom's friends. So we just treat them like really amazingly, which is awesome. Michelle said, Derek, they treat us fantastic. Can't say enough good things. Wow. Thank you so much, Michelle. You must have an amazing recruiter. Ariel wants to know, how do we know if we're compatible for travel nursing? I like to travel, but don't know if it would be the same. Ariel, like I said earlier, it's really about having that conversation with your recruiter. Your recruiter is going to be able to answer all of your concerns. So if there's one thing that you have a concern about, bring it up to your recruiter. I'm sure it's a situation they've been through before and can help you address that. And a lot of travelers, what they do is they take an assignment in their state first. Mm-hmm. That way they're far enough to be considered a traveler, but they're close enough to, like, if anything, like, they feel a little uneasy, they're not too far from home, they can test it out, see if travel nursing is for them. It's 13 weeks, it's 3 months. The way I see it, we can do anything for 3 months. So try a travel nursing contract in your home state. See if it's something you like doing, see if it's something you could do, and then branch out. Let's say you're from North Carolina and you want to take that first assignment like 2 hours away from your home, and then you decide, all right, I'm ready to explore now. Let's go do an assignment in Dallas. Boom, you go to Dallas for 3 months. So it's just about taking it easy. Baby steps is always okay. There's nothing wrong with baby steps.
Yeah. And also, I did say earlier that the industry standard is typically a 13-week assignment, But maybe if it's for your very first assignment, your recruiter could try to find you an 8-week assignment so that you could just dip your toes in and just try it out. So that is a possibility as well.
Yeah.
It's just trying to find a shorter assignment.
That was a great question, Ariel.
Yeah, it was. And Derek said, for example.
Norma, I love the enthusiasm. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, so other than the catered lunches that I love here so much, I really like the fact that the company's growing and there's so much room for personal growth here. Yeah. It's amazing. And I know that we're trying to bring in more recruiters every day so that we can reach out to as many nurses as possible. So I do like that about the company as well, that it is growing.
For sure.
Definitely a lot of room there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then also my friends are here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been here for 2 years, so I'm relatively new to South Florida. And so the people that I know are basically the people that I work with. So, you're around them all day.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So it's your second favorite thing?
My second favorite thing about MedPro is
they send you to Vegas.
No, I think I always talk to people. I speak to people every day, but it's never like the same conversation. And I really like that because I like to talk to people. And so when you're talking to someone and you're getting kind of like their story and their background and why they want to travel here and why they want to do this and what got them into their specialty. And I think that's super rewarding. Or if a nurse calls you and she was like, oh my gosh, this is what happened to me on the unit yesterday. And you're just talking to them and you're like, all right, well, this is like a one-off, or you're talking to them, you're helping ease their concerns and just, it's like you're being their friend. And I like that. I like talking to the nurses every day on the phone. I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Sue, roll on over. Tell us what your favorite thing about MedPro is.
I think I love our family atmosphere here. Everybody has each other's back. Everybody genuinely cares about each other. We genuinely care about our explorers. We are definitely a team. We work hard. We play hard. We hope that our explorers have a great experience. We want them to be successful because at the end of the day, if you guys aren't successful, we aren't successful. We're nothing without you. So we do everything we can to make it an amazing experience for you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right.
What's that thing?
Lisa said, what are the benefits that you could offer that other staffing agencies don't have?
The Medpro Experience. We're the only people that do that. And we're really good at it. We love to reward, celebrate, surprise and delight you. For every assignment that you do, you'll receive the Medpro Experience. We do celebrate birthdays and holidays and all kinds of different things. So that is absolutely the biggest thing that differentiates us from everyone else in the industry. Nobody else is doing what we do.
Yeah, nobody else is doing that. And also I keep saying, just the fact that we have the RNs as our CEOs and our VPs. And I mean, we don't have to have a huge book of business. We are attention to detail. So you're going to get a lot more attention from your recruiter than you will at another staffing agency because it's just push, book. But here it's definitely catered around the nurse.
And another great aspect about MedPro too is when you're initially filling out that paperwork, we know like you guys are getting inundated with 1,000,001 phone calls, and we try and make that process as easy for you guys as possible. So really we ask for the bare minimum that you guys just send us your resume and your certifications and your numbers for your references and fill out the skills checklist. Generally that can take you 15-20 minutes on a computer, and then we have our assistant go in and put in all your employment history. You guys just go back in and verify it. So our junior recruiters really make sure that all that stuff is put in accurate, so it's easy and you guys just go in and sign it. So we make sure that that initial step isn't taking more than 20-30 minutes of your time. And that's a big factor because we know you guys don't like sitting in front of the computer. You guys don't like just sitting there filling out that paperwork over and over again. So we try and make that process as easy as possible for you.
One other thing that I'd like to mention too is the personal approach that we have here, you're going to receive a dedicated payroll person. So if you have an issue, you're not just going to be calling some general number. You're actually going to have the name and the phone number of a direct contact that actually is doing your payroll.
Right.
Same with credentialing. Obviously, you have your recruiter. You have me as your Medpro Experience guide. You have a whole team of people that are really dedicated to making you successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yes.
Do we have any questions?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about MedPro too. I like that you brought up that personal touch too. That's a really great point to bring up. I think a lot of people, when they're having payroll issues or credentialing issues, they're chasing down different people to speak to. But right before you start your assignment, that Thursday or Friday, your payroll reaches out to you, lets you know this is what you have to do to get paid on time. So submit your timesheet. This is the timesheet you're going to use. This is the process. This is your login so that you can see your pay stubs, things like that. She's very in depth with what she does, so that if something does come up, you can always refer back to that email, give her a call, send her a text, shoot her an email. She'll get back to you ASAP. Same thing with credentialing. The credentialing specialist reaches out to you 4 hours after you sign that contract and lets you know, hey, I'm your guide. This is what I have to do this is what you have to do in order to start on time. This is what we need from you. We set you up for your drug screens, your medicals, your physicals. You don't have to worry about coming out of pocket for that. We set all of that up for you. So that's just amazing that MedPro does that.
Yeah.
Tiffany said, yes, I need that. I'm tired of being passed around from employee to employee. That's awesome, Tiffany. I mean, yeah, it can get so frustrating. I know sometimes you call your cell phone person and you're just pressing 9.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
You call your recruiter, you have their direct line. Even if you don't want to speak to payroll or credentialing, call your recruiter. Your recruiter will speak to payroll and credentialing for you. Your recruiter is your guide through this journey. They're supposed to be there with you. So, I mean, anything you need, always call your recruiter right away. They should be the ones helping you get through these situations, but you will have the direct numbers for your payroll, your credentialing, and even sometimes you can call the junior recruiters too, and they're there to help you. Like, your name is on their, like, your file, their name is there. They're helping you with everything. So we really push that personal touch here at MedPro. It's really about quality.
Yeah, whoever your recruiter is, if you're ever having an issue, just reach out to me. That's what I say. Like, hey, if you can't get a hold of someone from credentialing or payroll or whatnot, just tell me and I'll fix it for you. You know, your recruiter is supposed to be your best friend. I read an article about that. But yeah. And our junior recruiters or assistants, however you want to call it, they're all over it. Really, they're all over it. They will make a relationship with you. They will get to know your first animal's name as a child. Like, the stuff that they get to know about you is it's a lot.
Yeah.
But no, they're good.
Awesome.
What does it say? I will be signing up today. Well, you can sign up with me. Just call me.
Tiffany, we're happy to have you. I can't wait to surprise and delight you with your first magic moment.
Yeah, you're gonna love the Medpro Experience. It's amazing.
Yeah. So any questions about the process or how you can sign up with MedPro directly? I'd love to answer it. I know that you can go onto our website and you can search for jobs right from there. And you can also sign into an online application, or you can, just contact us via Facebook.
So Ariel asked, how many nurses are assigned to a recruiter? Ariel, great question. It's not really about what's assigned. It's about how many relationships you've really built, if you want to look at it that way. So on average, it depends on how long you've been at MedPro. But in the first year, people are probably looking at about 10 to 15 nurses that they're maintaining on or managing that relationship on a daily basis. So that's very manageable. And then as you grow, you'll see more people are growing, they'll get to 20, but generally it just depends on how many relationships the recruiters built and how many people they have on their book of business. So yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit about, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah. I know that a lot of the senior recruiters have a lot more nurses that they travel with just because they've been here longer. I know I've only been here for 2 years, therefore I don't have as many nurses as they do, but they don't want us to be overwhelmed in any way. So They just want us to focus on our nurses.
It's really about how many relationships you can manage adequately. We want to make sure that you guys never get shafted in any situation.
Yeah. All right. Anything? Right. Well, guys, I think that's going to be it for our Q&A. I appreciate everybody, reaching out to us and having all these great questions. And hopefully you'll have more questions coming up soon. So please reach out and just, in conclusion.
Yeah, so we're tagged in this post, so definitely add us, like MedPro's page, reach out to us. We'd love to chat with you, get all your questions answered. Even if it's personally, you didn't feel comfortable asking a question here, chat us. We'll DM you right away so we can have a nice conversation. We'll send you our phone numbers. You guys can call us directly. Let's get you guys started with us here at MedPro.
Woohoo!